Hello there, namaste. So I just watched the movie Morbius. Alright, anyone who knows anything about the superhero films, you're always recommended to stay away from certain types of movies, and Morbius was the one that came out, like 4 years ago now, that everyone was just told to stay away from it. Well, my friend said we need to do a podcast on it, so I decided to watch it, and I gotta say, people are right. People are right to whine about it and complain about it because it isn't a good movie. However, there are aspects of like his power. Like the first time he used it, I thought that was cool. I will give it that. I thought that was cool. But then it just derails from there. So a man who's crippled is trying to find a cure for his ailment, right? So he's in Costa Rica, I think it was, hunting down vampire bats to cage them, and the scene ends with him being abandoned at the bat's cave. And then it shows like 25 years in the past, him being best friends with someone who's suffering from the same ailment as him, who he calls Milo, but his name is Lucian. And it already seemed like it was an iffy relationship. It was just kind of funky. I didn't care for that. Milo apparently, Morbius saves Lucian's life, his friend Milo's life, with a coil from inside a pen. That was one of the dumbest things. It was like, it took hundreds of scientists to figure something like this out, and you fixed it with that? It was so dumb. Like, the little things were incredibly dumb. The fact that he was able, because, okay, so his girlfriend on and off, someone who likes him but doesn't like it was weird. The doctor he works with, Morbius works with. So apparently when it goes back to the present, she's talking about how, oh, you have all these bats in here. Why are you hiding them from everyone? You're running illicit experiments. And it's just like, oh, how'd you know this was here? Well, your password's the same thing for everything. And it serves no purpose because all the nurses just walk into his office seeing a tank filled with bats. Why do you need the password if everyone just walks into his office and sees that? It was so dumb. It was like they would say one thing and then have it mean nothing. Have it mean absolutely nothing. So it was just like, okay, whatever. This is absolutely ridiculous. It was just like, and I hate it. I'm glad Matt Smith got on with House of Dragons because seeing him ruin his, like, he's an amazing actor. Ever since Doctor Who, he was absolutely perfect in that role. He did an amazing job taking it from David Tennant, but the fact that he's been screwed over multitude of times in the US, in Hollywood films. The fact that he's actually doing something in House of Cards, good for him, but he was in like what? Terminator Genesis. He was in, he played, was he Smog? I know he was, no, he wasn't Smog. I thought he played someone in the Hobbits. I don't think so though, now that I think about it. No, but it's just like, he always plays like these, no, that was Benedict Cumberbatch who played Smog. But it's just like, he always gets these roles that it's just like, I'm always excited to see him. Because when I saw him, I was just like, yes, Matt Smith. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is a bad movie. This is a bad movie. And of course, he was the villain. And I don't like it where they have two people with the same powers going at each other. The fact that Morbius was arrested like within a few minutes, and then he's in prison, and then his friend gives him blood because he's a vampire, he's an infected, or whatever the term would be, himself, gives them blood so they can start fighting each other out in the open. It was just incredibly cliche, incredibly dumb. I did not care for it. You have the clueless cops walking around hunting the one guy, only to find out at the very last 20 minutes of the film that, oh, there's two of them. We're hunting Morbius, but we should be hunting both of them. The doctor who took care of both of them goes to Milo trying to correct his ill ways, and then Milo, of course, kills the doctor who was kind to them all along, throwing a hissy fit about how you never cared about me, you cared more about Morbius than you did me. It just, a lot of it seemed childish. A lot of these adult, intelligent, like these are all degreed. So Milo went to become a lawyer. He didn't finish it, but he had the intelligence to go for like doctorates and lawyers. Here, Morbius became a doctor in a niche blood science type thing. It is just like, they show that these people have this intelligence, but then they start acting like children, especially Milo. Milo kept acting like a freaking child, and it was just aggravating because it's just like I could see where they were going for with this, and the fact that they brought Michael Keaton in to reprise his Vulture role when they're not going to go, because I think they were going to try to do like no, they weren't going to do the Sinister Six, but they were going to do like that anti-hero kind of team up type of thing with like because what I remember it's like Blade, Morbius, Spider-Man for some reason is in there, and Blade tries to fight Morbius. That they had a few comics like that, so it's just like they were gonna try and go that route, but apparently that went absolutely nowhere. It is sad to see these things that just like, Michael Keaton's back to play an interesting, nope, that's not going anywhere. It just reminds me of the ending of what was the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they're gonna try to do the Sinister Six, and it's like, well, just so you know, we are hinting at the Sinister Six, but you know what? We decided to cancel all following projects. It's just like, what? What? But yeah, I gotta say, this movie, is deserving of the hate it gets. Because I'm watching it and I'm just like, there is potential there. There would be potential there. But it's like, all the jokes to like other franchises, like the Hulk. Oh, you won't like me when I'm hungry. Or, I'm Venom. Or they even have a Batman reference where he walks into a tank of bats and the bats start swarming around him. Literally, it sounds like the Hans Zimmer music is playing at that exact point in time too. And he opens his arms wide and it's just like, oh. And not to mention, so in the comics and in the cartoon, it makes sense. Right here, it made no sense. So he literally does a Kamehameha wave with bats. Morbius does a Kamehameha wave with bats, and that's how he ends up beating his friend Milo. He does a Kamehameha wave with bats. You hear that? And I'm just thinking, as I'm watching it, it's just like, how many bats have died in the making of him trying to hold down his best friend? Because they're just completely plummeting down to their deaths. They're holding down another vampire with super strength, super speed. They're going so fast and at such a velocity, their impact would lead to those bats' death. And the fact that they're just continuously, it's just like, this doesn't make any sense. In comics, in cartoons, looks fine. Live action, it comes off as absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, but it's whatever. It's whatever. I watched this film. I can say I've seen it now. It is... I have a feeling that my friend's actually gonna like it, just because it's one of those. But I gotta say, yeah, it's an awful film. I don't think it's even one of those you could put on in the background and enjoy, because there are aspects that it's like, if they would have just run with this detail and continued down that avenue, it would be possible. If they would have focused on maybe not having a best friend villain, not having a villain with the same powers as him, focusing on something different, having to learn how to live with who he is as a person, him being hunted, as he finds out that he can do good with his powers, even though he's being hunted for the fact that his powers seem evil. Like that kind of thing. Instead of him being like, oh my gosh, I'm evil, I'm calculating how much. It goes from very cool when he's fighting these mooks on a ship, because this is when he gets infects himself in the first place. He's out on a freight ship in the middle of the ocean. All the sailors on that ship are carrying automatic weapons. It's just like, what? That's a freight ship. Why the heck are they carrying weapons? It has all the dumbest cliches you can think of, all thrown in a blender and just mixed together. And it's just like, he takes out all those people, and then he realizes his mistake and starts tracking himself, starts keeping an eye on everything he does. And it's just like, I don't care for this. It's ridiculous. If it would have been him trying to learn where the line was for him, maybe the girl trying to bring him back from the brink, that's a better avenue. But this, having a best childhood friend who he promised to cure, only to tell him, no, I won't cure you. So his friend steals the serum to inject himself, and then starts just hunting people down indiscriminately because now he has all the power. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's just like, I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, I saw this movie. I saw Morbius. I could say I've seen it. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Doodles.